Thanks to Jersey's Sports Zone, and Volpe makes almost the identical play.
At home, they call me Big Al, and I hit dingers.
Remember that young man, Big Al?
The Minnesota Lynx select Diamond Miller.
Video courtesy of Jersey Sports Zone.
It's an incredible goal, so that's a nice one. It's deserved of number one.
You got my food.
Number 2, New Jersey high school football.
Here on Jersey Sports Zone.
Thanksgiving's right around the corner, and that means we're getting into the deepest part of the postseason in fall sports. This is the Beyond the Score podcast, episode 11. I'm Rich Crampanis, joined as always by Jay Cook. And Jay, we're getting after it. You kind of smacked me across the face with the reality. Like we got state championships this Sunday in soccer.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. It came out of nowhere. So this upcoming Sunday is going to be the non-public state championships for soccer down at Franklin. 4 games. We will be out on a Sunday. So get ready. It's crunch time right now.
So we're gonna talk a little soccer. We're gonna dive into the football as we always do. And appreciate everybody watching all of our clips on social media, downloading the podcast. We enjoy shining the spotlight in all these different programs. We got some great teams to talk about. And our guest this week, props to you. We're always going back and forth talking guests.
Yeah.
And you threw this one out there and talk about a program that has been nothing short of dominant. Glassboro.
On a different level.
One of the great coaches in New Jersey high school football. You know, there's a stigma of, Group 1, you're not going to get noticed or you're not going to make a name. Timmy Breaker has built a program that has every college football program in America on notice.
Yeah,
they know about Glassboro. They're looking at those kids, and you think they just show up on the field and dominate. That's not the case. They do the little things well. And what a conversation we're about to have with the head man at Glassboro. Great spot.
Yeah, he's awesome. And shout out to our South Jersey guys, James Mooney, Tyler Mraz, and Mike Frankel even getting in the mix with some Glassboro this year. They're doing the heavy lifting on Glassboro. That's their world. And they've brought those highlights forward, and we're excited to bring Timmy Breaker to all you guys.
So Coach Breaker coming up a little bit later in the pod. But when we come back, it's time to talk Week 10. You and I had some dandies. On Saturday and Friday. We'll talk about that when we come back.
It's one thing to win one award, but it's another 46 things to win 46 awards. New Jersey's most comprehensive academic healthcare system. Learn more at rwjbh.org/US News.
Welcome back to the show. This is the Beyond the Score podcast presented by RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together. Can't thank RWJ Barnabas enough. They let us just do our thing.
Yeah.
And so we got to shout them out every once in a while because they're like, hey, just get to the games and do a good job.
Yeah.
They're not asking us to talk them up or anything, but we want to thank them. And, you know, Jay, sometimes you have this fear when we're in this setting of having a freezing cold take. And when last week we were talking up Old Bridge Sayreville, you think, what if the game's a clunker? Not a clunker. You were there. I think it was one of the best games in the state this week.
It ended up being that. Yeah. Look, I mean, we talked about the Big Central Conference, needing to make a statement here and get some teams into the sectional final round. They have done that this year. And look, Sayreville Old Bridge was an awesome game. 28-27 Old Bridge, back and forth game. I mean, just kind of everything you want to see in a high school football game between two towns that their borders are right next to each other. They don't ever play. Everybody came out. It was packed over in Sayreville. So much fun. You look at this game, Old Bridge has some guys. I mean, they really do. My first time getting a look at Brody Nugent at quarterback. Did throw a pick six in this game, but to make it a tie game or to help Sayreville come back into this game, he was unfazed. He goes back out there. They're down 27-21. He leads them on a touchdown drive within 3 minutes left of the game. A great pass to the end zone to put them up 28-27. And then they make a really good defensive stand at the end. Old Bridge is they're proving to be a tough out. It's a 10-win team. They're going to go to a sectional final for the first time in over a decade. They're going to go down to Washington Township. They have one of the toughest draws this weekend, no doubt about it. Washington Township has proven to be a major weapon this year. So, look, Old Bridge has really made a statement as they continue to push further in the state playoffs.
You make a really good point. At this time of the year, resilience and mental toughness will get you to play at Rutgers or MetLife. And you think of the times where Brody Nugent could have been in a spot where I'm in the biggest game of the year, crosstown rivals, 7 miles apart. I just threw a pick six. Did I cost my team the season? And you got to have that short-term memory. So big props to Brody Nugent from bouncing back from that and getting that done. That's pretty awesome.
He was unfazed. And look, that's kind of his demeanor because I talked to him after the game, and his interview was very straightforward. This kid is all business. He's singularly focused on continuing to help the Knights win. So, look, the reason that this became a game, too, Sean Jackson, the running back from Sayreville, I don't think he has a single college offer right now. I'm going to have to do a little bit of a deeper dive into that. But from what I gathered at this game, the college interest is not there. And I can't possibly see why that's the case. 216 yards and 3 touchdowns in the biggest game for Sayreville this season. He showed up. So Sean Jackson needs some looks. Only him and Abel Paul are the only two, are the top leading rushers in the state this year. Abel Paul cracked 2,000 yards last week against West Orange. Sean Jackson, I think he's at 1977 this year with over just about 25 touchdowns. So Sean Jackson is an electric player that is one of the best running backs in the entire state, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see his name on the all-zone list at the end of the season.
I would say so. And for a kid like Sean Jackson, I feel like we got to constantly remind people of the realities of recruiting and the stress of recruiting, but to not get down to the dumps, to keep a positive attitude, because we have had countless players that we can go back to
for sure
that have gotten their call or opportunity in December or January or even February. Think of Micah Ford, who's at Stanford.
Yeah.
He had November recruiting stress. Alex Bauman, who's now a starting tight end at the University of Miami.
Right.
November recruiting stress. I'll do you even better. A guy I covered in South Carolina, the Maniac, Darius Shaq Leonard.
Yeah.
November recruiting stress. 3-time All-Pro.
Yeah. It'll get figured out, right?
It will get figured out, and that's one of the cool things that we do is we can shine a spotlight. And so Sean Jackson did his job, playing incredible when the 2 games we shot with him, and it's going to work out.
It'll all work out. So, look, Sayreville, a tough end of the year, but definitely made a statement as a real threat in the Central Group 5. That was a 1-point game. We go to Saturday now in a game that, look, there was only, 2 or 3 football games on Saturday?
That's
the
right.
Entire state this week?
Yeah.
You just about had everybody in the state at West Essex Summit, and my goodness, what a freaking ending to that game, man. That was wild.
Those were 2 teams that just let it all out, left it all on the field. It was fun to watch. There was wonderful back and forth and ebbs and flows to this game. It started out with Summit getting a long touchdown out of the gate. Then West Essex. The guy who really impressed me was Jake Long.
Dog. Yeah, he's a dog.
He was, I think he's got over 1,400 passing and rushing, which, defined dual threat. I thought he battled for every single yard out there. They went up. It kept going back and forth. And then it all kind of, the fourth quarter was everything you would want in high school football. So I'll walk through it real quick here. This Alex Schwark, shifty 37-yard run with about 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. It's 28-21. You're like, oh, okay, Summit's got it. West Essex goes right down the field. It's 4th and 9 from the 11.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, I'm sorry. They're at the 9. 4th and 7. They need to get to the 2 for a first down.
Okay.
And Long looks like he's in jail. He goes and gets the 9-yard touchdown run, 28-28. And you're like, whoa, 5 minutes left. What's going to happen? Summit throws kind of throws a Hail Mary from like their own 10-yard line. And one of those wrestle balls, like who's going to get it? I think it was Ben. I'm trying to. Will Holmes. Will Holmes makes that catch. And then this is where everyone in West Essex is running a little hot.
Yeah.
There's a 3rd and long. So maybe West Essex is going to make a stop here, and we're looking at overtime. Maybe West Essex has a chance. Pass interference. That opened the door. Brilliant time management by the Summit coaching staff. They wind it down to 1 second. And the name I had to practice for the entire car ride back, Cooper Smagarowicz.
Yeah.
They ice him. And this is when I knew Summit was going to win. They ice him just before he's going to snap it with 1.3 seconds left. And I look, and he just has like this wry smile on his face. Like, he's like, I knew this was going to happen. It's fine. Everyone leaves him alone. He chills out there in the timeout, and then he just belts it down Broadway. Hey, shout out to the snap and the hold.
Yeah.
I'm nervous, and I got no dog in the hunt. 1 second left. They executed perfectly, and Summit gets a walk-off win, 31-28.
Look, that's a gritty Summit team.
Yes.
They find ways to win. They play tough defense. They love to run the ball. They love to, get in the nitty-gritty and challenge you. Summit now draws a tough test next week.
West Morris is going to be a very tough test indeed.
Yeah, that is a really good West Morris team. Summit's got to go on the road. It's a 7:30 start out there at West Morris.
Last game in the state.
Last game in the state. No lights on the highway out there. I mean, that's a long, dark drive out to West Morris. A tough place to play at. So, look, Summit has pieced together a couple really tough wins over the last couple weeks, and look, they're going to be in another spot where they could potentially make a lot of noise around the state.
I think the other thing that's fun is we find teams that emerge.
For sure.
That are not, traditional powers. I think the two that fall into this category are Montgomery and Bayonne. And you were at the Bayonne game, and based on our social media numbers, they are excited about Bayonne Bees football right there with the city, New York City, in the backdrop.
Bayonne is all the buzz right now. I mean, that's what's going on in North 2 Group 5. They are one of the most fun and energetic teams I have covered this season. I didn't know what to expect. Piscataway is a blue blood program. Josiah Zios is going to Iowa State. They've got a bunch of guys and athletes on that team. That's a solid Piscataway team. And last year, these two teams met in the round before. Piscataway blew the doors off them. What's going to happen this time around? Bayonne is a real threat in this bracket. They beat the 3-seed Elizabeth. They beat the 2-seed Piscataway. They have just smashed this bracket wide open. They are loaded with players. Chance Fisher has got over 1,600 rushing yards and over 20 touchdowns. Nico Sampson, the quarterback, just rarely turns the ball over. This kid is a big play waiting to happen. Jerome Hayes Jr., son of the head coach Jerome Hayes, who is a Bayonne grad in his own right and played big-time college football, was a massive recruit out of high school. Bayonne has just got everything going right for them right now. They have played 2 road games in the state playoffs. They have won 7 straight games. They are going to make it 8 straight this Friday night when they go over to Bridgewater Raritan to take on the number 1 seed Panthers. We are going to be there. We have now decided that Bayonne is a team that has earned coverage.
Yeah.
We did not get to Bayonne in the regular season, and this is just the reality of Super Football, Conference Football, and the entire state of New Jersey. We have, over 350 high schools we got to deal with?
It's a big state. I say that all the time.
It's a big state, right? I mean, we can only be at so many places. And at this time of the year, you have earned your coverage, so we are going to be at Bayonne, Bridgewater, Raritan. BR beat Union City last week. They've got to go back-to-back against Hudson County teams. That's tough to do. So, look, we're going to see what's going to happen in that game, but that's a 1-6 matchup for a sectional final.
And now Montgomery, you do a little bit of kind of homework and looking. 1 playoff win before this year.
Isn't that
1
something?
in the history of the school. And now they've gone on a run. They turn around and beat a talented Woodbridge team, I believe avenging a loss from earlier in the season. And here they are, 20-15 upset. Montgomery is in its first ever section final. And for them to continue to make history, they got to go to a program that has more than one playoff win. That's the State Liners of Phillipsburg. Maloney Stadium, one of the toughest to play. What a great challenge. Another fascinating matchup, Montgomery against Peaburg.
Yeah, look, Montgomery has just continued to find ways to win, right? They get a long kickoff return touchdown in this game to help them pull away with the lead. They grind the game out in the fourth quarter. They are just, they're proving to be a real problem. Now, you got to go out to Peaburg. It's a long drive. It's on the corner edge of the state there, right? It could be snowing there and could be 50 degrees somewhere else. It's like a different world out there in Phillipsburg.
Wrong turn, you're in PA.
Yeah, right. Wrong turn, you're in PA, and another wrong turn, and you're going 78 the other way, and your head's all spun around. It's going to be an uphill battle for Montgomery this week. Phillipsburg is a major threat. So look, Montgomery, can they continue the magical season against one of the most successful programs in the state? It's one of the big storylines this weekend.
So you got the new kids on the block, Bayonne, Montgomery, excitement. I felt it was fitting that we at least acknowledge the end of one of the most remarkable runs, which is, I can't believe it. Well, you go back and you look, for the first time in 12 years, Rumson Fairhaven is not playing in a section final. And to make the section finals 11 years in a row it's hard to comprehend.
It's an unprecedented level of consistency is what it is.
And a big shout out to the Wall Crimson Knights. They took care of business. They beat that Rumson team 17-13. Rumson scored 2 touchdowns in the last 5 minutes to kind of make things extremely interesting.
Sure.
Wall had a 22-play drive that got the field goal that proved to be the difference.
22 plays?
12 minutes and 32 seconds was the length of the drive.
So they ate up over a whole quarter of clock.
It was about 10 minutes left in the third when they got it. Great punt by Rumson down at the 1. So they're at their own 1-yard line, and they go 85 yards to set up the Heath Reinhardt field goal. 12 minutes. So it started with 10 minutes left in the third. There's like 10 minutes left in the fourth when they finished the drive.
Oh, my gosh.
Then Rumson went hurry up, kind of woke up. And there are a lot of young kids on that Rumson team. Motivation will not be a factor there. They'll be plenty motivated.
For sure.
To hear, if they don't want to go to weight room, they're going to hear, oh, you guys are the guys that ended the 12-year run. So they're going to be angry, and they're going to get back. They've got great numbers. Ed Guerreri, an unbelievable coach. We don't want to get into too many details, but Wall was in a bad place.
They were.
And Ed Guerreri came in, and look where he's taken this program. It did not take long. He plays the game the right way, and that's playoff football, right? How do you beat a defending state champ, a team that's made it to the section final? How about we just don't let them have the ball?
That's a pretty good recipe.
Yeah. So now Wall's got a tough task. They go to Camden. That's going to be a tough spot. But again, great job by Rumson. Incredible run. And, when it's a bad year and you're a section semifinalist, you got a pretty good football program.
For sure. Camden 8-2. They took out Wall's #1 rival last week, Manasquan.
Swan, yeah.
Yep. So, look, Camden is they have been dominant through the playoffs, a 53-0 win and a 46-6 win back-to-back. So, look, it's Wall's they've got an uphill battle here, right? Camden is the top overall seed in this section. It's going to be a tough one.
We'll see if there's an upset in the making in South Jersey, and we kind of have started to dive into Week 11. Let's take a break.
Sure.
When we come back, let's put a couple of games in the spotlight that you and I are caught our attention.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to look ahead to section championships for the public schools and a little bit of non-public football as well. That's when we return on the Beyond the Score podcast. ACI Medical and Dental School in Eatontown is celebrating 20 years of new beginnings and 20 years of new careers. Start your new career as a medical or dental assistant in less than 4 months. From a talented faculty and staff to state-of-the-art equipment and training, ACI's medical and dental training programs are designed to help students succeed.
Registration is open for day and evening classes. Visit aci.edu to begin your healthcare journey.
Dream big, they say. We say dream bigger. Over 3 million square feet of bigger, so you can plunge deeper, play in the snow longer, wonder greater, pose with your friends sillier, shop with your family happier, make every meal tastier, and float higher than ever. Whatever your dream is, come live it big time at American Dream.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Beyond the Score podcast. I look back at our guest list that we've had on the podcast, and one that is really aging very well is our guy Jack Cannon. Could you have had a better day than Jack Cannon had last Friday night?
Hold on, let me go get my calculator.
Yeah, we the fantasy football calculator.
Yeah, right. Homedale beats Neptune. I got to pull it up, Jay, now that you say it. I know they scored 65.
It was a goofy score.
9 touchdowns for
9 touchdowns.
Jack Cannon. 6 passing, 3 rushing. So let's just try and process this. This is the playoffs. This isn't a week 2 cupcake game.
Not a scrimmage in the beginning of the season.
This is a Neptune team that had just 1 loss, and they go and hang a crooked number. It was 65-42. I'd still, if we went to that game, I'd still be editing it, I think.
Yeah, you would.
107 points. That's absolutely insane. But what Cannon has done is nothing short of remarkable. Let's see. 12 of 14, 256 yards, 6 touchdowns and a pick. And then he runs 12 times for 175 yards and 3 touchdowns.
How about that?
So it's not like he had 70 touches.
Right.
He threw 14 passes and he ran it 12 times. And it resulted in 9 touchdowns.
Wow.
It goes back to, again, I said it at the beginning of the year, the most nervous people in the world are those Dartmouth football coaches.
Yeah, I'd be scared now.
You're telling me that his phone isn't ringing and Power 5, Power 4 programs aren't saying, hey, this kid has gone from, an excellent prospect now to an elite prospect. We said at the beginning of the year, maybe in August, maybe Jack Cannon's going to be up for our Zoman Trophy. To now you said it, he might be the favorite for the Zoman Trophy. And he's just done it on his own. And you got to remember, at the beginning of the year, Jack Cannon didn't care about stats. He didn't care about touchdowns. All he wanted to do was be the guy that leads Homedale to his first ever section championship. And now here we are. He can do it. They've got a talented Seneca team coming in, the 3 seed who beat Matawan, who upset the 2 seed Somerville.
Yeah.
So now you have Seneca coming to Homedale, and can Seneca slow down this machine that is, we just saw, is capable of getting a speeding ticket?
Right.
They drove the speed limit on the Parkway.
On the Parkway,
65.
right behind the high school. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Right. They can go on the Parkway. They're right at the speed limit.
You're going to be there, right?
I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Homedale in a few weeks. They're probably a little sore at me, but I kind of sense
that was on purpose, though, right?
I feel like I'm going to be attached to Homedale here for the next 3 weeks.
Right.
If it all works out.
The top overall seed in this section in Central South 3 was eliminated. That was Burlington Township. They lost to Mainland. So now if Homedale beats Seneca, Homedale will host a state semifinal. So talk about even winning a sectional championship, hosting a sectional championship, and hosting a state semifinal are certainly in the cards. So you're looking at Homedale, the stock is rising for Jack Cannon, and it's certainly rising for the whole Homedale program.
They got other players too.
They do.
Pete Berardi's been great on defense. Got to shout him out. James Murphy has emerged as a top guy. I've liked Michael Tedisco all year long. I'm really excited to watch them as we begin to kind of pick our all-zone guys. Like Jack Cannon's got his spot. He's good to go. Which one of these guys, is going to step up and we're going to have more than one Homedale guy on our all-zone team. So I'm looking forward to that.
You might be watching 2 all-zone quarterbacks. Anthony Tirico, our South Jersey guys, were giving us the notice on Anthony Tirico a couple weeks ago. You're looking at a guy with 1,400 passing yards and just about 1,500 rushing yards. So 32 touchdowns for Anthony Tirico. So you are looking at one of the best dual-threat quarterback battles in the entire state this upcoming weekend in Homedale.
I can't wait.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's going to be a buzz again with the Hornets, just because they've never been there before. The student section is going to show out big.
Oh, they better.
They need to make an incredible atmosphere there, and the Shore has kind of boiled itself down now. There's only a few teams left, so they're going to take the spotlight, rightfully so, and that's going to be a whale of a ball game.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Another big game. You look at a guy who is the face of his public high school football team. Steve Klein is the face of Westwood. They have just been spectacular in the North 2 bracket. It's going to be Westwood against Ramsey in a sectional final game. North 1, Group 2. Steve Klein is on an absolute tear this year. Over 20 touchdowns on the season. He just eclipsed 3,000 career rushing yards last week as they got some revenge on an early season loss to Caldwell. So Westwood is going to be having a big sectional final game this week. This is not something that they are foreign to. You talk about a team like Homedale, who has never won one of these. Westwood is extremely familiar with this spot. Westwood and Ramsey met earlier this season, only just about a month ago on October 17th, and Westwood won by 4 touchdowns. So you got to imagine that they're the heavy favorite, but Coach Bear over at Ramsey is going to definitely have his guys ready to go. We are going to be at that game. We're very excited about that, to see a good North Jersey public school football game.
And then you got to transition into Saturday, where it's a light slate.
It is.
The non-public takes center stage there, and you kind of look at some of these quarterfinal matchups in non-public A, and you can kind of say, okay, the seeding's going to hold the form. Is there a potential bracket buster? There is one.
There is.
It's that crew in Morristown, Del Barton.
Del Barton
at St. Joe's Montvale.
Yes.
I think this is going to be an intriguing game.
It is. This is a game that Joe's cannot by any means sleepwalk through or take lightly or any of that. Go ahead and ask DePaul what happens when you maybe take your foot off the gas a little bit against Del Barton, because they could ruin somebody's season. They could absolutely ruin somebody's season. So it's going to be Del Barton at St. Joe's Montvale. These teams do not play regularly. The only time they usually meet is in the state playoffs. They haven't played in a couple years. Del Barton's in United White. Joe's is in United Red in the Super Football Conference. So these teams don't have much crossover. But look, Del Barton has some guys. Matt Tafuri is a great high school football player. Another guy who's probably going to be on our all-zone team at the end of the year. But Joe's has got to come out and begin their state playoff run with a bang. No messing around. They got to come out here and make a statement and make sure that Del Barton doesn't upset the apple cart. But we have talked about it. The Green Wave have an excellent coaching staff. They are going to be schemed up and ready for this game. If you're circling a potential bracket buster, this is that game. So we are excited to be there. This is going to be the first round, or technically the quarterfinal round for non-public A. Everybody's in action. A lot of Friday games. St. Joe's Metuchen Bergen Catholic is the other game on Saturday. That's a 4-5 matchup. But this one against Joe's and Del Barton is certainly interesting.
Last week we were taping, and during the taping, that news came about the South Jersey Group 1 situation where I'm trying to think who
it was Paulsboro.
Paulsboro had 16 players suspended.
Yeah.
So they went in a tough spot. They gave Shalleck a real tussle.
They did.
7-point ball game. And so tough way for their season to end. We thought we were going to see Paulsboro, Glassboro, but instead, coming up this weekend, Glassboro, Shalleck.
For the third time in a row. For the third sectional final in a row, it's going to be Glassboro and Shalleck. The Saab brothers are fantastic. Shalik is going to go into the Lion's Den, or the Bulldog cage. I don't know what they call it down there at Glassboro, but
the Dog Pound.
The Dog Pound, yeah. Line it up. Let's keep knocking them out here. That's going to be a very interesting game. We're going to see if Glassboro can continue their dominance in Group 1.
And what better way to get ready for that game? When we come back, we're going to talk to the leader of the Glassboro football program. They're going for a 25th straight win.
Wow.
When you see those kind of numbers, why don't we talk to Coach Timmy Breaker? He deserves to put his program in the spotlight. Great conversation will be on the way when we return on the Beyond the Score podcast.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
It's really nice to be in a situation, in a place where there are very good people who take good care of people.
Orthopedics is it's not about saving lives, it's about saving quality of life.
A lot of people, we live high-stress lives, so if you tell someone they can't do something for whatever reason, that's pretty traumatic.
I really take pride in trying to be empathetic and trying to put myself in every patient's shoes.
I want to take care of people like I'd want to take care of my family, and I think that when you do that and give somebody that family feeling and give them your honest opinion for what you would do, they value that.
Welcome back to the Beyond the Score podcast presented by RWJ Barnabas Health. It's time now to talk about one of the juggernauts of New Jersey high school football. They are Group 1, and they are one fun team to watch. Glassboro, a perfect 11-0, ready to roll once again.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about their dominance, Coach, but let's welcome in the head man, I think the most fashionable coach in New Jersey high school football. He is Timmy Breaker. Coach, thanks so much for taking the time to join us.
Hey, thank you guys for having me. And also, thank you guys for always showing love to the program. That's it's been a blessing.
Coach, we wish we could show up more, but we're trying to get you guys in competitive games. That's the tough thing, man. We need somebody to test you guys. It's been tough this year.
Oh, I know. We tried early in the season to get a week 0 with a lot of the top teams in South Jersey. Not only South Jersey, but New Jersey. And some of those teams backed out. So you can only play the schedule that you're given. And, we don't mind it.
Coach, what is it like knowing, following up on that, when you're making phone calls, I don't think a lot of people are calling up eager to play Glassboro. I mean, is it that hard to get a game?
I wish it wasn't that hard, but, the PowerPoint system, I think one day if we get rid of the PowerPoint system, we'll have a lot more competitive games, no matter in the groups. But, down the road, I think it'll change a lot. And I think everyone in South Jersey or even New Jersey will start playing each other.
Yeah, selfishly, I cover North Jersey. I would love to see you go up against some of the teams up there, man. I look at the program that you guys have built and what those games would look like would be so much fun. Just about the program, what is the vibe right now? Because I look at you guys, the big recruits. You've got guys that are staying home to play at a small Group 1 school. That means so much. How much fun is it right now being in the middle of this?
Honestly, it's been a blast. It's been a lot of fun. Knowing the kids for so many years since they were midget football players, a lot of people are like, how can you keep those kids home in Glassboro? Because majority of our team has grown up in Glassboro. We've built a really good midget football program, and my brother's the president, so they do a great job, the midget football program, and we're kind of in conjunction with each other. So it's easy to keep our kids and easy to develop them with so much movement, not only at the college level, but the high school level now. It's been, really the community has been a family atmosphere. So like our kids, they enjoy playing for Glassboro. They love playing for Glassboro. A lot of their parents suited up in the Glassboro uniform. So they take a lot of pride, in dignity and playing for Glassboro. So it means a lot to them.
Every coach has a challenge. I think for you, you have a unique challenge. How do you keep these guys locked in when it would be real easy for them to hear the hype, hear that everyone's like, oh, they're going to win 40-0. How do you keep them locked in to execute it? Because you know anything can happen on a Friday night. And to your credit, this team has stayed super locked in and dominant every step of the way.
Well, honestly, it's just keeping the main thing the main thing. You never forget like the goals that you set throughout the year, and just trying to not deviate outside of keeping the main thing, right? And it's family, and you keep the kids. They're super competitive, though. One thing people don't know about our kids are they're big, they're fast, they're strong, highly recruited, but on top of that, they're great kids, right? I don't need to check on them much in the classroom. Our team consensus GPA is like a 3.92, right?
Let's
Like
go.
these kids are not only good football players, but they do everything on it. They do the little things, right? And they try to stay out of the scores and who we play, and we take everyone as the same, right? It's the same game every week. And they do a really good job at being able to prepare and leave the outside noise outside and just keeping the main thing the main thing. That's our motto.
Coach, this week you guys are going for a milestone win. I'll put it out there. You guys are going for 25 consecutive wins this week, going up against Shalleck in a sectional final. What kind of challenges do they pose, and what are you guys working on to go win out a sectional title this week?
Honestly, we just kind of just focus on ourselves, and just playing a clean game. Some of the football we've played this year has been great football. Some has not. So we just focus on just playing a clean game, not so much Shalleck in a sense, but just being able to execute at a high level, being able to communicate across the board, and finally just putting a full game together. So we try not to think about the big milestones, even though we are. I think we thought about it. I said it to someone this morning and completely forgot we were 11-0 because we just focused on 1-0. And that's how we're going to take this game as well. It's a blessing to be in another sectional game, but it's just like every other Friday night.
Coach, when we look at your stats and look at your personnel, we could probably spend a lot of time here going through a lot of guys. I'll start with the Sab family, who's been very good to Glassboro. Shout out to Keon having a great game against LSU, doing great things. And you got two more Sabs. I guess you're going to get a little nervous when you don't have any more Sabs to coach. But talk about those guys. And your quarterback's been great, O'Connell, and then you've got the kid with 21 sacks. I mean, that's unbelievable, Brandon Simmons.
Now, those guys are the pillars of our team, right? We have a very big senior class. Having them, two guys like Amari and Xavier, special talent, game breakers. Xavier's a junior, Amari's a senior, and that's every coach's dream is to have two players like that. That at any point in time they can change the game. Now, Jack has done a great job. He broke the record in the most passing yards in Glassboro history. And he broke the record also for most touchdowns in Glassboro history. And I think I read something recently that Amari and Xavier, they're the first tandem on the same team to go for 2,000 career yards. So they broke that milestone. I think the last time it happened was 2016.
Man.
Amari's the first 1,000-yard receiver in Glassboro history. And they got a chance to do it this year, but Brandon Simmons with 21 sacks. He had 20 last year. So he wanted to beat it this year. He has 21. So having that guy on defense is a nightmare for everyone. Sometimes they actually triple team him and leave everybody else unblocked. So being able to watch it and watch the motor he has, those four guys, along with a bunch of other guys, they've done a great job at just being geared into the work, right? Like you practice more than you play. So they do a very, very good job at focusing on those little things in practice at getting better. And obviously on Friday nights, they show up and they've broken, I think, close to every record known at Glassboro. So it's been a special, great group we've had between those two groups and a lot of young talent that get to look up to some guys like that I think down the road they'll also want to be better than.
Coach, this season you guys opened the year, battled the beach, gave up 20 points in a win against Haddonfield. Since then, you guys have given up 20 points the rest of the season. 8 shutouts this year. Just what is the defensive mentality of Glassboro football and the way you guys scheme it up and the way you guys attack and and play with tenacity. What does that look like?
Honestly, our motto on defense is fast, physical, and relentless, right? So they run to the football. They love and again, they love the violence. They enjoy it. They love running to the ball. They love hitting. Our scheme on defense is we run a couple different defenses. We like to scheme to what's best for our guys. And they do a great job buying into their roles on defense. And they do a great job communicating and running to the football. And on top of that, they really, and again, I'll say this over and over, they really love the violence of it. They do.
Coach, I know we're getting to the nitty gritty, and I know that you probably are going to have to bring your A game as far as sideline looks. I think you bring the most flair. We want to know heading into the stadium every year, state final time, what's Coach Breaker going to bring for us? Do you have anything lined up? I mean, do you want to give us maybe a sneak peek of what we can expect? Because you're going to be the opening shot of our highlights because you're bringing
so
it.
good, yeah.
I mean, I got some stuff back there. It'll be a little bit of a different look, but I love the approach to it. It's fun for me. The kids love it too, right? I think the last game I came out in sleeves because we got new jackets, like the coaching staff, and they were like, "You need to take those sleeves off.
Yeah.
That's gonna mess us up. You don't wear sleeves," and they're like, "Why do you have that on?" So by the time he came out for game time, I didn't have any sleeves on. So I mean, it's just it's became a look, but honestly, I wear it because I played the same way. Like I didn't play with sleeves on, and if you ever pay attention, I'm one of those coaches that I'll run up and down the sideline. I kind of have fun with it, and I always say the kids play to the mantra of the coach. So I'm a very high energy guy. So I'm always up and down the sideline. And if you got on like big clothes and sleeves and all that other stuff, you sweat a lot. And I don't really like doing that as a coach.
Coach, congratulations so far this year and the year you guys are having. We look forward to seeing Glassboro down the road here. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of Glassboro football. So thank you so much for coming on to the Beyond the Score podcast this week and talking with us about your guys' top level program.
And we're going to thank you in advance for all the awesome highlights because you guys always put on a show when we bring our cameras down.
Hey, thank you so much. Again, thank you guys for showing that amount of love to our program and always being stand-up guys and always showing the highlights of the program. I think that's special what you guys do for not only us, but just New Jersey in a whole, and being able to get out to so many games and see so many talented kids and just keep doing what you guys are doing, because on a national scale, they always go back and they watch those videos either on YouTube or whatever that is. So what you guys are doing is bringing that scale to New Jersey for everyone else in the country or even in the world to be able to see. So we appreciate you guys a lot.
Thanks so much. Coaching us up. I love it. I'm fired up now.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it, man.
Yep. Have a great day. Appreciate you.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Get back the life you love.
It's time for another Blast from the Past, brought to you by the Heldridge, New Brunswick's only 4-star hotel.
Welcome to Blast from the Past, sponsored by the Heldridge. I'm Tyler Mraz. In Week 11, Villanova's sophomore running back Jabril Mace rushed for 291 yards. That broke the single-game rushing record for the Wildcats that was set by Brian Westbrook back in 2001. In 2022, Mike Frankel saw the Mainland alum tie the school's all-time touchdown record in the Mustangs' playoff win over Morristown.
Mainland marches right down the field to begin the ball game. Jabril Mace putting some huge numbers up this season. The Villanova commit races around the left side and in for the touchdown. Mace and company take an early 7-0 lead. Back to work on offense now, and check out the run from Mace. Jabril Mace keeps his balance through the traffic, and he's gone. Mace makes another house call. 34 yards to pay dirt this time. Mainland stretches the lead 21-3. The Stangs keep the foot on the gas late in the second. Franchini rolls to his right, steps up, finds Mace for another touchdown.
Blast from the Past is brought to you by the Heldridge, New Brunswick's only 4-star hotel and a preferred hotel of Rutgers football fans since 2005. The Heldridge helps you make the most of your game day weekend, providing premium accommodations in the cultural heart of downtown New Brunswick. Restaurants, bars, theaters, parks, museums, and more are only steps away. Whether you're traveling alone or with a large group, book your stay at the Heldridge and make the most of your game day weekend.
Hey, welcome back to the show. We are just a few weeks away. We're heavily into football right now, heavily into soccer right now, but it's going to be a few weeks that we stop putting the winter gear on and we are in some pretty toasty gyms with some pretty high-level wrestling going on. And I have a feeling it's going to be a lot of CBA on Jersey Sports Zone this winter.
I got to, now that you say this, I got to get in my press passes for the Beast of the East.
Yeah.
Which is, the kind of, for me, that's kind of like reminds me of NASCAR. Like the Daytona 500 is like they come out of the gate with like just a massive thing.
Yeah.
Like for us, like the first real big thing, Jay will get a little like a duel here and there, but I go to the Beast.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay,
here we go.
Now we're on. And I have a feeling that we're going to see a lot of Jersey guys at Beast of the East once again. But Sunday night, getting ready to watch Sunday Night Football. And I hear, there's a big announcement cooking on Sunday night at 8 o'clock. Paul Kenny, CBA, U17 world champ in 2023, 2025 state champ at 120 pounds, is making his college announcement. And I guess we shouldn't be surprised anymore because it seems as if New Jersey may have to annex with the state of Iowa because the Iowa wrestling lineup is going to be crazy Jersey.
All Jersey.
Paul Kenny commits to the Iowa Hawkeyes. Now, he's a rising junior.
Yes.
He has a younger brother, Sean Kenny. He happened to go on the visit because
he tagged
it was
along,
an unofficial visit. So about an hour while I was editing the Paul Kenny video, I turn around and look. Sean Kenny committed to Iowa. Wow. So Iowa's got the Kenny brothers.
Yeah.
Sean Kenny won a U16 national championship in Fargo this summer.
So
he's a national champion. He was at 106 for CBA. Maybe he'll wrestle 113. So CBA's got the two Kenny brothers are going to Iowa. Bobby Duffy, his teammate at CBA, going to Iowa. And then you've got Sonny Amato, who we had on the pod a couple of weeks ago.
Iowa.
State champ, nationally ranked, going to Iowa. And they got Harvey Luddington.
At Iowa right now.
Leo DeLuca at Iowa.
Dean Peterson.
We won't see Dean and all them wrestle. But every one of those other guys, they're all going to be together.
Yeah. Well, Dean's there now. Yeah. Dean's one of our guys.
Yeah, Dean's one of our guys. He made his Iowa debut, and they were already in love with him.
It's incredible, man. This pipeline. And Sonny told us about this, right? When we had Sonny on the podcast a couple weeks ago, he was like, there's a real connection here. And you could go back and watch that interview. It was a great interview, and he gave us a lot of insight into Iowa wrestling and why New Jersey is becoming a point of emphasis for this coaching staff. But my goodness, man, it is unbelievable. The amount of Hawkeyes in the New Jersey high school ranks. How about that?
And if you're facing CBA in a duel, you got three Hawkeyes you got to deal with. I mean,
and the national leading the program. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, look, it's a credit to this state's wrestling pedigree, and we all know right now that Penn State is at the top of the mountain, and for Iowa, who's used to being at the top of the mountain in wrestling, for them to get back on top, they are clearly making it an emphasis to come into this state and take the top talent. And you look at all these guys' rankings, and they're all, class of 2027, these are all top 10, top 15 guys. And then you've got a high riser like Sean Kenny, who, by the way, just won a national title this summer.
Right.
So I'm fascinated, and I'm now more intrigued. Like, I mean, we got a few years to work with. Like, I feel like I want to go to Iowa and see all these guys together.
I know.
I mean, they'd welcome us with open. We know that to think that you say, oh yeah, I'd be more comfortable at an Iowa duel than any place else because those guys all know us so well.
Yeah, we'd be the carpet would be rolled out for us, man.
I'm just saying. But shout out to the Kenny brothers, giving us, making the Sunday night interesting.
Hey.
That's why we don't really put the rundown together until the last second, because anything can happen. But that is unbelievable.
CBA wrestling, you talked about the Beast of the East being a major point of coverage for us when the wrestling season kicks off. CBA has become the home to one of the biggest duels on the East Coast.
It's the best.
At the turn of the new year. So January 2nd, January 3rd. I just saw this today. The St. Peter's Prep Wrestling wrestling account tweeted out their schedule. It seems like they're going to be there too. The Catholic duels at CBA January 2nd and January 3rd is going to be one of the best duels of the entire year right out of the gate. CBA, St. Peter's, Del Barton. Last year, Joe's was there, the non-public 8 champions. Bergen Catholic was there. Seton Hall Prep was there. There could be some teams from outside the area also making an appearance as well. All these parochial Catholic non-publics. That is going to be a massive spot. We're going to be at the home of the Kennys and the Duffys there as 2026 rolls around. So that is going to be a lot of fun. I'm already looking forward to that because we both know we always have to do some hellacious drive to get to some of these duels. And that's like within 25 minutes of both of us. So we're very thankful that CBA is going to be hosting that. It's the best. Yeah, you can't beat it.
High school wrestling is going to be here before you know it, and we're excited about that. But we still got some business in the fall. So when we come back, we're going to talk a little soccer as we head for home in this week's episode 11 of Beyond the Score.
Comprehensive, academic, and award-winning. New Jersey deserves nothing less. Learn more at rwjbh.org/US News.
Buffalo Wild Wings has teamed up with Jersey Sports Zone to honor high school athletes across the state with gift cards. We'll have Buffalo Wild Wings Player of the Game interviews all year long. Visit Buffalo Wild Wings locations in North Brunswick, Bridgewater, West Windsor, Flemington, Brick, and Toms River. A special thanks to the Munson Restaurant Group for supporting New Jersey high school athletes and Jersey Sports Zone. It's tough for us to digest the soccer here because there's so many brackets in play.
Yes.
Right? So we tape on a Monday afternoon. It comes out first thing Wednesday. So it's tough for us to talk about things because a lot of things are going to transpire between now and when the podcast drops.
A lot of stuff going on as we speak right
As
now.
we speak, yeah.
Seton Hall Prep and St. Benedict's are about to get underway. I know Del Barton and Bergen Catholic are playing right now, so by the time you're listening to this, you're going to know how those games played out. But, I mean, it's the soccer world is on fire right now.
So Sunday is the start of our state championship coverage. We'll have all the non-publics. We'll see how that all shakes out. But I wanted to kind of revisit back. Part of my Sunday routine is to kind of start out is to go through the top 10 plays. Jay texted me, had a 99-yarder from Bayonne, which was awesome.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the kid down in the punt, I love that highlight.
That's a good highlight.
That was so good.
If that ended up in a safety, that might have been in the top play.
Right.
Yeah.
So the 99-yard from Bayonne was off the charts. James had a Quade Hendricks catch from Winslow that was elite. And then I had the walk-off Summit field goal. And maybe Quade Hendricks could have been in the top 3. I fell in love with these 3 soccer plays we had.
We had some good.
If you're listening to the podcast, make sure you check it out on YouTube. Check out our top 10 plays. It's usually on me. I ask the guys for some opinions, but I don't want to. I want to let them rest a little on Sunday, so I don't try.
Also, the perk of being the boss, so you get to pick.
I don't like that, by the way. And who really wants to make the pick is our owner, Dale Florio.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, Dale will come in and call me out on, why did you make that number one? And he's an extremely busy man, the boss.
And also very big high school sports fan,
well, he's locked in. At one day, I would love to anoint him as the keeper of the top 10 where he could just make the call. Someday I hope that happens. But I always enjoy the back and forth.
You need to get him his own belt.
That's right. Yeah. We that's the fun about the top 10. So I went with the 3 soccers. James had the Paul VI free kick.
Oh my goodness.
Which was out of this world. And then Tyler got the Pennington girl from 40 yards out.
I don't know. That thing just was a booming shot and totally had the keeper out of sorts.
The poor goalie. I hate when people go on the comments. Playing goalie's hard.
It is tough.
And that poor goalie looked like she saw a Yamamoto curveball. She just froze because she probably thought it was sailing over the bar. And all of us would do the same thing, by the way.
Yeah.
And then number one was your guy at Seton Hall Prep.
Yeah, Liam Collins.
Liam Collins, who made 2 circus saves. He had another save that I thought was as good, maybe even better than the sequence you had, but a double save, stayed playoffs. I thought that was the number 1 play of the week.
Yeah, that was a wild atmosphere, too. The Pirate Nation showed up to that game. I love shooting Seton Hall Prep and being on the opposite side because when a big moment happens,
right,
you get those maniacal fans in the stands. They were going crazy watching Liam Collins. Philip Sayua is a great soccer midfielder.
He's a scorer, too.
He's a scorer. He's dangerous with the ball at his feet. He's a major problem. He had a one-on-one with Liam Collins. Collins charges in, makes the first save. I don't know. He punched it away. I don't know. You'd have to slow it down to look really good. And then Philip gets it again to take another shot, gets it off clean, a strike, and Liam, who's a big guy, by the way, went flying through the air to knock this thing out of the way. I mean, it was on goal. That was going to be a goal. And he stopped 2 goals back-to-back that had the place just out of their minds. It set the tone. So Liam Collins, an incredible moment there. What did that get on Instagram? Is that over? I think it was over 350,000 views.
I had it at 350. I'm going to look right now.
Yeah, let's pull up I'm
going to pull up the number because
real time numbers.
It's a number.
There it is right there.
366. 366,000 views on Instagram.
Boy, that blew up, huh?
That blew up. You know what else blew up? I meant to say shout out to you. Remember last week we were joking when ESPN shut us out of that game?
Yes.
Well, ESPN called and asked for permission of your Bosco game against Caleb Williams.
Oh, the Bosco Gonzaga game.
They put it on Instagram.
Okay.
And it's all, I feel like you should be getting a check from Bristol because it's all your highlights with your voice.
It was. I did see
on the ESPN Instagram. Jay Cook highlights on Instagram.
Pretty cool.
A soothsayer, knowing that someday Caleb Williams will be handing the ball to Kyle Monangai, who scored against the Giants.
Yep, another score.
They use a lot of Swift, too. Let's get a little more carries from Monangai.
Yeah, he'll work in there late in the season, yep.
That was cool. So I thought that was neat when we're talking about big numbers. But shout out to you for getting some love by ESPN right there.
That's a throwback, man. We build these YouTube thumbnails. We call them slates in-house. And that's what you see when you go pull up a video on YouTube. And I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm like telepathic because that thumbnail was half the screen Caleb and half the screen Kyle. And it just, the way it aged was incredible. So that's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Well, the mission for us is to find the next great slate. The next great story that 5 years from now everyone will be consuming. We will do our very best to get the best highlights, but it's always about the kids. When we show up, you guys do something special, and we can't thank you enough for that. And we're going to have some more special moments this week. And on next week's show, we're going to digest our first 4 state champions, and we'll start thinking about postseason. We'll start thinking about maybe we'll have our first Zoman conversation.
It's very possible.
Let's have that all on the table.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. State semifinals on deck next week. This is where the matchups are going to get really fun. So going to be some good conversation on episode 12.
For Jay Cook, I'm Rich Crampanis. This has been episode 11 of Beyond the Score. Thanks so much for watching and downloading our podcast. You can get that podcast anywhere that you get your podcasts. Just type in Jersey Sports Zone or Beyond the Score. We thank you for your support. And thanks again to RWJ Barnabas Health. We'll see you next week.
If you have chronic joint or back pain, this is probably where you spend your time. Might we suggest a better destination that's close to home? RWJ Barnabas Health, where orthopedic surgeons designed the surgical implants that are now used around the world, and where you'll be cared for by the same doctors that treat professional athletes and rising stars. Get back to what you've been missing. Orthopedic care. Do it right. Here. RWJ Barnabas Health.